The Declaration of Independence is the recognizable document to Americans. It is taught about in classrooms and covered in media, leading most to be familiar with its existence and basic purpose. It seems to give a look into a distant storybook-like past, a time of revolution and stirring of the masses. However, these tales seem so distant from the mundane nature of everyday life in the 21st century. Despite its absolute importance in the framework of America and its vast media coverage, few actually understand the values it stands for and how to apply them to modern life. To understand this document fully, one must take a step back and consider the origins. After years of growing conflict over British taxes, laws, and lack of representation, colonial leaders gathered in 1776 to formally explain why they believed independence was necessary. The Declaration of Independence laid out their grievances against the British Crown while grounding their argument in Enlightenment ideas about natural rights and the purpose of government. It ended with a hopeful belief that these principles would lead America towards a united future built on freedom, opportunity, and shared purpose.
Carnage of gun violence.
Backdoor abortion ban.
Targeted violence.
And the climate crisis.
Will be raped in their lifetime.
Today, America is dealing with conflicts across the whole country. Many people feel they are not being properly protected or being given the rights and support they deserve. These feelings have led to growing frustration and division nationwide. What can everyday people, teenagers like us, do to participate in the government and maintain the spirit of civic responsibility? Like it or not, there's no denying the central role social media now plays in everyday American life. It has become a defining force in how we communicate, connect, and engage. As our lives turn increasingly digital, social media reflects the spirit of the Declaration, letting citizens challenge authority, defend their rights, and hold leaders accountable. It shapes opinion, drives activism, and amplifies marginalized voices.
I think that the media has always influenced what we think. So it's just nice to take control of it. It's nice to be at the helm of these narratives and not be just being fed info. I feel like, growing up with news stations, it was always like, this is what's happening and this is what's going on. But social media has allowed for us to be like, actually, this is what's going on, and we see it very clearly, and we want something different, and we're gonna prove it to you because we're gonna make something different happen. We're not gonna just sit around. It's like the media has the power, but the power is always with the people because the people control the media, and what we consume is what we live. It becomes our reality. So it's like, yes, the media can sway things, but it's like it's really because of the people.
I'm still in the process of educating myself politically, and I think social media and just media in general played a big role in it because that's how it first got me to start thinking about how issues impact not just the people around me or what I hear about in the news. I'm able to have conversations with people who are willing to have conversations. I remember, I think a few months ago, I reposted or I kind of stated what my thoughts were on a certain issue on my public Instagram story, and I got a lot of DMs from other people who I haven't talked to before about what their thoughts were, and it was really interesting to kind of converse with other people my age and what their view was, and kind of take in how theirs differed from mine and why that was.
Over the last however many decades, are we losing a commonality among who we are as a people? And I think what social media has allowed us to do is kind of find that everybody gets their own little microphone to announce to the world what they believe and feel, which wasn't the case in the past.
But like any powerful tool, social media isn't without its downsides. The same platforms that amplify voices, spark conversation, and drive change can also spread misinformation, reward outrage over understanding, and expose users to harassment or silencing.
What we do is we extend them rights of a public square, but they aren't taking the responsibilities of any public place.
Social media gives voice to people who don't have access to mainstream media, which undeniably it does. But at the same time that social media can be used to censor voices, where it's a way that powerful people can censor the voices of less powerful people, right? And if you just accept those two assumptions, then you can explain how social media is both liberation technology, helping people in authoritarian regimes to get organized to topple authoritarian regimes, replace them with democratic regimes, helping people in democratic regimes that are marginalized, that don't have the kind of access to mainstream media to get their voices heard, right? We can think about like Occupy Wall Street or Black Lives Matter. But at the same time, social media can be a tool that's used by the powerful to silence the powerless. And so this is one of the fundamental challenges of our time, really. Is how do you keep these digital town squares open to people? I think we want to think that the internet is either good or bad. Social media is good or bad. AI is good or bad. And it's really much more nuanced than this.